This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back. Matt Stevens now joining us live. He's the founder and CEO of Helios Health and Wellness, based out of Altamonte Springs, Florida. He joins us today to talk more about how his company and himself are really dedicated to helping so many people in the weight loss and holistic approach. First and foremost, welcome. How are you today?
Hey Jill, thanks for having me. Yeah, no, I'm doing great. I'm excited for the weekend too. It's going to be a good one.
3-day weekend and hot. You're in Florida, right? So what's the temperature there now?
Oh, like it's always 90.
Oh gosh. Well, God bless.
Yep.
I'm excited to talk to you because I know you're really passionate about helping so many people lose weight. Not only lose weight, but start getting healthy and giving them that advice and that nutrition and, the guidance. And of course, where we want to give them the long-lasting results, not just a quick fix. So tell us a little bit about your company and what Helios is all about.
Sure. So Helios Health and Wellness, we focus mostly with the GLP-1 medication. It's a specific drug that actually is naturally produced in your gut. Uh, and over time, we either develop an immunity to it or we just produce less of it. So what we do is we inject with a little bit more, whether that's through an injection or we can take an oral dose, and that boosts those levels. What it does is it slows down your digestion. It takes away all your hunger cravings. It increases your mind clarity, so you can think better, you can move better, you have better energy because it also includes either a B6 or a B12. Typically, it depends on what the doctor prescribes. But yeah, it's amazing medicine. It's been used for years actually to help with diabetes, and it also helps with blood pressure. So that's the focus of where we are starting. But it doesn't end there because once you start losing the pounds, you need to exercise, you need to eat right. Yeah, of course, you're going to lose the pounds if you take this medicine and you eat McDonald's every day, but that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because that's not healthy. So we got to educate people so that they can make a lasting change for themselves and make this forever, not just for a few months or a few days.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I need to back up a little before we get into more specifics about all the ways you're helping people and how this whole program works. And of course, we're going to get to the science behind this too. I want to know about you, Matt. Tell me where you're from. And, reading, I know you really always were a people person and loved helping people, making a difference in people's lives. So bring us back to where you grew up and just give us a little of your history and backstory, if you don't mind.
Sure. So I grew up in Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
Not a whole lot happening up there. It's just the capital, and it's a lot of politics. Other than that, I went to Ferris State University. I got a degree in criminal justice. Ended up not using the degree, and then I decided that I had a passion rather to go and do different things for other people, and I wanted to try and make a difference. So what did I do? I went into the military. I went into the National Guard. I joined
Wow.
the National Guard in Michigan. My unit was based out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. I served 6 years. The entire time I was there, I was always, and this kind of is where it leads into Helios today, right? Is that I was always part of the Fat Boy Club, if you will. I
Oh,
always had to get taped every time
yeah.
we did height and weight. No matter what I did, even through basic training, just couldn't drop below 194 pounds. I couldn't get my BMI within the range that they needed. I was always okay because I
Yeah.
did the taping and they were able to work a way to make sure that everything was legit. But even still, it's kind of frustrating because no matter how little I ate, no matter how much I exercised, no matter what I did, I just couldn't get to the target market, what they wanted. So anyway, yeah, I served 6 years doing that. Moved to Florida, uh, worked down here, and I started up my first business actually in immigration. So I also own a consulting business for
Oh,
immigrants because a lot
okay.
of times it's very expensive to talk to a lawyer, give them their options. I can't give legal advice, but you don't need to be a lawyer to read a book. So we started there. That grew. I went into real estate, and then now here. I got into something that really spoke to me because my entire life, my family has been struggling with weight, right? My
Okay.
parents are both a little overweight. My sisters, I have one in California, one in Maryland. The one in California, she's a gym rat, still can't lose. She's like me, right? She
Mm-hmm.
can't get behind a certain number. She
Okay.
just kind of stays right there no matter what she does.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got my other sister out in Maryland. But this medicine, it's changed a huge uh, it's changed everything for me and for my dad specifically. My dad has dropped a ton of weight on this medicine. It's helped him with his blood pressure. It's helped him with his blood sugar. It's been incredible.
Amazing. Well, this is fascinating. You're helping so many people. Let's break down, talk a little bit more about it now. You wanted to dive into kind of the science behind it, right? And how it works just to start.
Yeah, yeah. So as I had mentioned, it's a natural producing drug in your gut, right?
Okay, yeah.
We naturally produce this. It was really discovered in the 80s. Was approved for type 2 diabetes in the mid 90s. And then in 2001, or no, sorry, excuse me, in 2005, it was approved for weight loss with the
Okay.
Wegovy pen.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, there's so the doctors, many doctors have seen the improvements this has created, right? In many ways, not just for the weight loss, but also the other effects. It takes a lot of pressure off of your heart, improves your heart health. It's incredible. This stuff is great. Um, so really, it's just that over time, we
Mm-hmm.
typically will build an immunity, right? Or our bodies will just produce less.
Yeah.
So we just need that little extra help, and people don't even realize that. It's pretty incredible.
Amazing. All right. Well, if you are joining us, we have to remind everyone that we are ecstatic that our friend here is joining us today to discuss the importance of really integrating lifestyle changes with medical treatments to help you lose weight healthily the right way and to keep it off. So, Matt Stevens joining us here again, and we're excited that he's talking about this. And, the GLP-1, the medication in particular, some people, are skeptical how it works. Is it safe? Is it not? So, do you want to break down some misconceptions about it and what we've heard?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say that GLP-1s, it's not a diet. It is not a diet.
Okay,
There's a
good.
difference,
Yep.
right? So when you go on a diet, you've heard the yo-yo diet. You lose a bunch of pounds and then you gain them all back. But on this is very different. What this is an actual natural producing, as I keep saying this, it's a natural producing drug in your system. So your body already has it in you. And the question is, how much do you have? Do you need
Hmm.
more? Many of us do. So with that said, yeah, of course there's some drawbacks, but again, because it's naturally producing in your body, typically it just takes a little bit of an adjustment time. Many times you're going to get GI irritation. So everything that comes with your gastrointestinals, right? You'll have an upset stomach, or you'll have diarrhea, or you'll throw up. But eventually, give it about a week, 2 weeks, and your body should adjust for most people. Other than that, it's also a very safe drug, right? As long as you're eating correctly, as I had mentioned that also, the nutrition
Okay.
side. Uh, the GLP-1 does not know the difference between fat tissue
Okay.
and muscle tissue. So if you are living a very sedentary life, you will, as I said, lose weight,
Okay.
but it won't necessarily only attack fat. It will
Oh,
go after your muscles if you're not
okay.
careful. So with that, it's so important that you make sure that this is not an excuse not to exercise, right? You'll lose on average around 8 pounds a month by doing no different things than what you've already done, changing your diet,
Yep.
by exercising. So as long as we're doing those all those extra steps, you'll be perfectly healthy. Actually, as a matter of fact, I always tell people, I joke around and tell them they'll look like Helios, the sun god from the Greek mythology. So,
Ah, I like that.
yeah.
Interesting. All right. And let's move on over. And if you want to talk a little more about, really integrating this lifestyle and the importance of, doing both. It's like you said, it's not just the answer. There's so much more that is integrated in this progress. And how do you work with someone to continue this? And I know mindset's a big part of it as well.
Right. So a lot of times, being overweight, a lot of people they 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 just think of food differently, right? When you're on this medication, it helps you to really identify the difference between food addiction and food
Okay.
hunger, right? And then that goes even deeper. So now we're talking about the mental health of somebody. So we also work with mental health professionals to get you counseling or to go over life coaching,
Mm-hmm.
wherever you are, right? So that you don't just look into a mirror and think to yourself, man, I wish I could be somebody else, or this isn't me. But you can really start to have the support that you need for the lasting change that comes with it.
Got it. Well, also in your time here, doing all this, I definitely want to talk more about the mental health aspect too, right? Because how do you work on changing someone's mindset? And how long of a process does this usually take? Because we have nutrition, we have exercise, you're going
Mhm.
to teach them about their, the mental health, the supplements and all that. So could you kind of walk us through how the process of working with you does indeed work?
Yeah, yeah. All right. So step one, after you go to our website, which is helioshw.com,
Mm-hmm.
book yourself an appointment with us. We will have you meet with a healthcare provider, and then that healthcare provider will most likely see if you're a candidate, right? Sometimes they'll want to run blood work just to make sure that your levels, all your blood work checks out, right? Or they'll want to make sure that your primary care feels that this is a good fit for you. So once we get the green light and everything works out, then they'll put you on the script. After we get the script, we're not done, right? We're going to actually have you sit down with a nutritionist. The nutritionist is going
Ah,
to fill out a plan for you, right? And we're not talking about a box plan. We want to make sure that this plan is right
customized,
for you.
individualized, right?
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Beautiful.
So we're going to do that. After we get that done, then I want to extend the offer to see if you'd be open to speaking with either a life coach, depending on how far you want to take this. If you'd like to talk to a mental therapist, if you'd
Yeah.
like to talk to a massage therapist, if you want to talk to a chiropractor, because often when you're overweight, again, you don't necessarily feel the best about yourself. Um, and talking to these people can really provide some healing, right? I really think that they can relieve a lot of pressure, not just the ones that you feel in your knees, but also the mental pressure that you feel in your head uh, with dealing with being overweight because you think of food different from somebody else.
Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, also, it's, the work you're doing is very customized and, as we call it, a holistic approach, right?
Mhm.
And there's plenty of things, at the weight loss center that, you can guide somebody with, work with them. And just to confirm, I mean, this is a weight loss center. You're able to work with people virtually all over, not just Florida.
That's correct. We have doctors in every state. We have
Perfect.
pharmacies that we can ship to your drugs
Beautiful.
anywhere you need it. And then we also work with people everywhere. So, yeah,
Awesome. Well, I also, was reading some great testimonials and I want to hear some client stories too. And I was on the website before. Let me pull it back up. This is someone saying, everyone at Helios is so kind. This is Mike Andrews from Denver and encouraging. I never felt judged, just supported. With their help, I'm healthier, more active, and have energy I thought I'd lost forever. Karen Smith says the GLP-1 medication helped control my cravings without making me feel jittery or weak. It's been a game changer for my weight loss journey. So thankful I found Helios. Kyle Matthews says, I was nervous about starting medication, but the staff did explain everything clearly with regular check ins, steady progress. He's dropped 35 pounds in 5 months. I finally feel in control. And people are talking about they've had so many different diets and tried this and nothing's worked. So, could you share a story or two about, how this is clearly helping so many people?
Yeah. So without going into specific names, but there
Yeah, yeah,
was,
yeah.
I remember there was a specific girl. She was probably around age 14, and she was overweight. Obviously, she's getting picked on in school. She's having a lot of trouble with social
Yeah.
life, right? No matter what she did, she just couldn't lose the weight. So once her parents brought her in here, we were able to get her on the GLP-1. Now she's lost over 45 pounds
Oh my
and
goodness.
her life is changed forever. She's able to go to prom now. She feels
Wow.
ready to go. She is excited about life, about going to school because things are not the same for her anymore. And as long as she's on this, I believe that her life has changed forever. As
Clearly.
long as she works the program, you got to work the program. It's always about the program. So,
Awesome. Well, there's still so much more to talk about. If you are just tuning in, I want to remind everyone that we're here with Matt Stevens, founder and CEO of Helios Health and Wellness, dedicated to helping you all out there. Yeah, lose the weight, but really keep it off. And with the holistic approach, it's not just medication, it's a whole complex system of everything that goes in effect: the nutrition, as you mentioned, the exercise, the diet, in a sense. And really, what would you say is the most important part of, you know, changing the narrative and culture out there with weight loss with this? Because so many people have done these fad type of diets.
right. No, the biggest thing that you got to break through, I believe, is just trusting that science is going to be able to help you, right? There are so many other options out there. I was just in a meeting the other day where people were working out, but they couldn't lose a lot of weight. They were losing like
Yeah.
4 pounds, 6 pounds. But imagine what you could do if you were doing that together, right? So if you got the drive to work out and you have the drive to work these medicines and together, oh my goodness, it would change everything. And the benefits are countless, really. I mean, what affects you today, yeah, right. You're going to see a much different you in the mirror in
Yeah.
the next 3 months. But think about it when you're 70 or 80.
Mm.
You're going to have a much higher quality of life because you have uh, you're in more control of your overall health, your mental state, your body weight, your joints, everything is going to be in prime, right? It's going to be optimal.
Well, being it's your first show, there's still so much more to get to know. What other areas of, your work did you want to make sure we cover for today?
Well, I mean, as far as what I wanted to cover, it's this is just exciting because not very many people know about it yet, right? I mean, the thing is that when you're new into an area that people are either skeptical, they don't know much about, or something that is just a game changer like this, right? It's just really important that they know that it's there. And there's companies out there like mine, but I believe that I'm offering a little bit more as far as not just the weight loss. See, many people, when they go into these other places, that's all they get is they get the GLP-1, that's it. But with with my company, you get far more than that. You get the full experience. You get the whole wellness, and it's not just
Yeah.
let me crack your back or stretch you out. It's is everything will be all right. No, it's not that. It's we're going to put a plan together, and we're going to hold your
Yeah.
hand through this whole process.
Ah. Well, also, you've been doing this for quite some time, your own personal journey and experience. Tell me how this has changed you and your life because you went through this process. You really can empathize with people,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's very true. No, for the first time, I can't believe it. Since I was last time I was within my BMI limit, I was in high school. That was ages ago.
Mhm.
But under this medication, I feel like a whole different person. I don't even remember the last time that I was this skinny, really. And then also on top of that, when I go to the gym or if I run, oh, it makes a big difference. You're not carrying around all that extra weight. It's great and it's easier on your joints. It's you can move better, stretch better, everything. Your mobility is better. Clarity, like I said, you can think better. It's great. So.
Beautiful. All right. Well, in our last 5 minutes together, why don't you share some of the obstacles, that you have taken here as an entrepreneur? Could you share obstacles? I mean, it makes you who you are, and I'm, proud. I'm sure your family is of you becoming this entrepreneur. But let's talk a little about how the obstacles sometimes in life make you stronger.
Yeah, no, well, that's just it. You learn something. What I learned early on is that you learn something in every deal, right? Where I really get my excitement is from making deals with people. I like collaboration. And not everybody wants that. See, the problem is that when you go and you talk to other businesses, they don't do cross, I guess, coordination. For me, it's always been about collaboration. You find success not necessarily in competing, but you find success when you work together. I love working with companies that want to work with me. And if you have a talent, then I want to bring that into whatever it is that I'm doing, whether it's this with Helios or if it's with the immigration or with the housing. I want to work with people and I love making deals because that's where I can make the biggest difference, I feel.
Yeah.
Um, but that's it. That's what I've learned is trying to, work with the movers, the shakers, the people who make all the decisions behind the scene. They're in control of the money, and then working with them to change their mind to put it into a direction that I wanted to see it go.
Yeah.
That's it's difficult to do, but it's so exciting. That is the best part.
Yeah, well, oh my goodness. And, this is amazing work. And seeing is also believing. And, it's just, one of these things, we all know about people's weight loss journeys. You look at the celebrities and you look at them, and then the whole thing with Oprah Winfrey, and it's like, she struggled with her weight for so many years. I'm sure you can empathize with her, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
some people's bodies are just built genetically, that's the way it is. And to know that people are finding their own and using medications along with this, it's beautiful. And how this has changed your life and so many, because I know this is, it's just more than your story. It could be everyone's story, right?
absolutely.
And it's working for so many for everything. And and you've tried how many types of weight loss programs growing up?
Oh, countless,
Yeah,
countless. I mean, I don't even remember.
right. And now you found it. And let's talk a little bit more about, the mindfulness and mindful eating and balanced eating. Could you share a little bit of that?
Yeah. So with nutrition, it's so important that you have a heavy loaded protein diet, right? As I had also mentioned earlier, that this medicine, one of the drawbacks to the medicine is that it doesn't know the difference between fat and muscle.
Yeah.
So as long as you're producing enough protein for your muscles to recover, it shouldn't be an issue. And if you
Okay.
want to build, this is actually a great program for you to get on if you're trying to lean down and build muscle because this allows an opportunity for you to have your body focus on just the fat being eaten by the GLP-1 as opposed to it being eaten by the muscle. It'll get it'll go for the muscle if you're just being sedentary, but if you're being active, it'll go for the fat because that's easier to burn, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then as long as you got the protein, you're heavy on the protein, you got the protein to recover your muscles and so on. It just builds that way. But as far as it doesn't just stop there, right? We're talking about making sure that you eat decent amount of sugar, right? We're not talking about going out and buying candy. Don't do that. That doesn't make any sense. But being mindful that how food breaks down into sugar and how it's processed in your body. If you eat rice, guess what? It's sugar. If you eat bread, that breaks down. It's sugar,
Guilty
right?
cravings. You're talking to the wrong person. I love carbs. I can, but
Yeah,
naturally, genetically, and but people look at me. Oh, you work out. I don't work out. I haven't worked
right.
out in about 15 years. Just genetics. I do eat right. Not great, but I eat okay. But everybody's body's different, and I just want people to know that, it's so hard. When you're going through something, everyone has something, and it's just. I just find this. I don't know how are you during the pandemic? I just learned so much from it because I feel like it's been what, 5 years now, and everyone went through something worldwide, globally together, and we were able to survive. I mean, most of us, unfortunately, a lot of people, lost their lives, lost their jobs, their careers, but we all kind of rebounded. And to show that, wow, we could rise again. And now it's time. I feel like people have made more of a change the past few years to be happy because you never know, right? And why
Right.
not live your best life? And what was going on in your world during the pandemic, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh man.
Oh
So
no. Oh
so I
man, I
was
like that. I like that response. Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah. Yeah. I was living in at the time I was in Michigan still. I was still in Lansing.
Okay.
Um, and I worked for the National Guard, but I also worked for Marathon Petroleum. I drove a truck, right?
Okay.
And so, yeah, it was hard. You're right. And you want to talk about not exercising. You want to talk about like it just made it impossible. I couldn't go to the gym. I could barely go outside. And then when
Yeah.
I had to go to work, I was sitting and I had all sorts of windshield time. You know what I mean? I drove a truck. That's what I did.
Yeah,
Delivered
absolutely.
fuel. So, but as far as like, yeah, I mean, the pandemic was that's where I really got my entrepreneurial start, right? That's what made me change. That's when I said, you know what, I really have to do something different. I don't want to be stuck in a truck forever and I don't want to be alone. It's lonely. I want to help people. I want to do more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for being here, for joining us and sharing your story, your journey, and for helping to inspire so many. So let's
Yep.
find out what is the best way we can get in touch with you, can contact you so people can reach out.
Yeah. So the first one would be on the website. The best way to get us is helioshw.com. You can also email us at info@helioshw.com, or you can call us at area code 407-550-4141. And we'd be happy to talk to you about whatever your case is. And we're going to hold your hand through this. It'll be all
Beautiful.
right.
Thank you so much. You have a fantastic day, okay? And
Thank
to
you,
all
Jill.
of our listeners, you stay tuned. We'll be right back with more. Enjoy your week, the holiday weekend, and thank you for helping so many. You're inspirational, and wishing you the best of luck. I hope we do connect again, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you,
Thank
Jill.
you. Bye bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.